Bitcoin is trying to fool everyone with this move. I'm seeing a lot of interesting formations happening for Bitcoin and I will discuss them with you. Later in the video I will also look at the two altcoins Chainlink and XRP, and there's a lot of interesting news coming into the markets which I will also discuss with you. So with that being said, subscribe to my YouTube channel and let's dive right into the charts. On the 4-hour time frame we can see this huge resistance / support area for Bitcoin unfolding, and in the past we saw a touch as a support, again as support, and we fell below the support and we retested this as resistance again. And we did it multiple times, and yesterday we saw another big rejection from this level because this level is too strong for now, so we can aim for lower levels after this rejection. And eventually we want to see a break of this resistance area, break it to the top side, retest it as support, and then come further back up, and that will be the beginning of the trend reversal for Bitcoin. But for now, on the 4-hour time frame we have to be a little bit more patient, that we're going to see more downside from now. But this will be the first big resistance for Bitcoin to break to the top side to become a little bit more bullish. And if we then have a look at the 1-hour time frame, we can see Bitcoin broke out of this huge consolidation phase and to the top side, so that was a little bit of a bullish move. And we are retesting this previous resistance as support already, and we did it twice. So we can see this support area is holding strong for now. And yeah, of course this is a diagonal support line, so that's a little bit weaker than a horizontal support line, but for now this support is holding strong, and eventually we want to see a bounce again to the top side and break this top side resistance for Bitcoin, and that will be having a bullish effect on the markets. And yesterday we saw a huge inflow into the Bitcoin ETFs again. We almost saw an 18 million inflow into the ETFs, and that was a little bit of a bullish day. BlackRock is buying in heavily again, and Grayscale is selling, so that is nothing new. We are seeing a continuation of the spike to the top side, and this is looking pretty bullish if you ask me. It's Friday, so it's the last day of trading for this week, and let's see if we can complete the week with another bullish inflow for the Bitcoin ETFs. And if we then have a look at the daily time frame, we can see Bitcoin is having this big rejection from this area. We can see Bitcoin try to break above this resistance area for 2 times already, but it got rejected again. And yesterday was supposed to be a little bit more of a bullish day because we saw the CPI numbers coming into the market, and the forecasted CPI was 3.1%, and it actually dropped to 3%, so that was having a bullish effect on the market, and we saw a little bit of a scam wick again to the top side. So yeah, everyone was getting fooled by this fake out to the top side, and eventually this resistance was a little bit too strong, and eventually we want to see it break to the top side, retest this previous resistance as support, and then come further back up, and that will be the beginning of the big trend reversal we're all waiting for. But for now we have to be a little bit patient, and we could also see more downside from here. And this will be my first big support where I accumulate more Bitcoin, and that will be around the $52,000. So yeah, keep in mind that this will be the bearish price target for me. And if we're breaking this resistance to the top side, my first big price target will be around the $64,000. Yeah, it could either be the $52,000 or the $64,000. And we could also see more sideways continuations for the Bitcoin price in the coming days. But yeah, the market is getting more volatile, and I expect that we're either going to see a bearish drop or maybe a bullish break to the top side and come all the way to the $64,000. And yesterday we saw another big sell-off of the German government. They were holding 50,000 Bitcoin in total, and they are now left with only 9,000 Bitcoin left. So yeah, I think selling in this dip will be their biggest regret they will have in the coming years, because eventually Bitcoin may go to the 100k and maybe even beyond that. And they are now selling for yeah, prices below the $60,000. So yeah, they could have hold this amount of Bitcoin and get a lot of more money. But now they are trading them for euros, which can be printed out of thin air. And yeah, this is looking very bullish. And maybe today even the German government will be out of their Bitcoins. And that will also have a bullish effect on the market, because the selling pressure will come down. And yeah, the selling pressure will dry up, and maybe we can see bullish continuation for the Bitcoin price, because the Bitcoin ETFs are buying in, and they are now getting leveled out by the selling pressure of the German government. So eventually, when the German government will stop selling, the price cannot go up only. It's also interesting to see that we are back at the stage of extreme fear, and this is looking very bearish, of course, but eventually when we're in the stages of extreme fear, you have to be greedy. Last month we were at the stages of greed, and then we were at the levels around 72,000. So now we're back at the stages of fear and eventually extreme fear. So you now have to be greedy, and there are a lot of buying opportunities occurring on the Bitcoin chart. So yeah, be greedy when everyone is in extreme fear, and when we are back at greed, you maybe can take a little bit of profit when you are buying now. So this is looking very bullish if you ask me. And also always when you're in the times of extreme fear, there are a lot of lifetime opportunities on the markets. And on the daily time frame, Bitcoin is creating this huge triangle, and we can see multiple touch points on the top side as resistance and multiple touch points on the downside as support. So eventually this price is getting compressed and squeezed into this apex. Yeah, eventually Bitcoin has to pick a side, so we're either going to see a break to the top side or a bearish break to the downside. And of course we want to see a bullish break, and yeah, if we're going to break bullish, then I expect that we are going to retest this previous resistance as support and then come further back up. And this will be the start of the big trend reversal we're all waiting for, because now we're in this big downtrend and eventually we want to see a break to the top side and create a higher low and a higher high, and that will have a bullish effect on the markets, because then we can create more upwards price momentum. And eventually if we break to the top side, the breakout target will be around the $72,000, because that is the top side of the formation, and that will also be confluent with the biggest resistance on the daily time frame. So we want to come all the way back to this level, and eventually we want to see a break and reach for new all-time highs. But that could maybe happen in the long term. And in the short term, we need to first see a break of this huge triangle, and that will be the start of the next impulse for Bitcoin. We also have this bull flag on the daily time frame, which looks very bullish if you ask me. We can see this huge run up, and the big consolidation now is happening on the weekly time frame. We are seeing a little bit of a bounce from the support area, and we want to see eventually a break of this resistance area to the top side, and that we can continue the bullish trend to the upside. And eventually we want to see a break of this bull flag, and this bull flag has a target of $108,000, so that will have a very insane price target. But this could happen maybe in the coming months, and I'm still keeping you updated about this pattern, because eventually a bull flag is a very bullish bias pattern, of course. The first altcoin I want to discuss with you is Chainlink. Chainlink has been in this huge consolidation on the downside during the bear market. We came up, and now we are creating a little bit of a head and shoulders formation. So we are seeing a left shoulder, a head, and a right shoulder, and that is actually a bearish bias pattern. And we already see a little bit of a break to the downside, and maybe a retest of the previous support as resistance. So I expect that Chainlink will come a little bit back down, and the big first support will be around this block, of course, and that will be around $7 to $8. So this could be a very bearish move for Chainlink. But if Chainlink wants to be a little bit more bullish, then we need to see a weekly close above this support area. But for now it's looking a little bit more bearish than bullish. And I think Chainlink will still be a very interesting play for the coming bull market, and I think that Chainlink will reach levels around $100. But if we're going lower, I will also accumulate more link at these stages, because I think this is a very interesting place to accumulate more link. And in the long term, this could make you a lot of significant gains. And eventually in the long term, we will see what's going to happen for Link. But I expect that we are going to see much higher levels in the coming bull market. The second altcoin I want to discuss with you is XRP. You can see XRP on the weekly time frame is in a huge consolidation phase. And we are in this consolidation phase since November 2021. So that is almost for 2.5 years. And we can also see a lot of touch points on the downside as support. And now we are back at the support levels. And it's looking a little bit weak now, because we want to see a big bounce from this level, and again test this upper side resistance again, and maybe force a break to the top side, retest this previous resistance as support, and from there we want to see more upside continuation. But for now we are at this lower side support, and we don't want to break this support, because otherwise we will see much lower levels for XRP. So we need to see a bounce from this level and create more bullish price action. And if we zoom in on the XRP chart on the daily time frame, we can see this descending triangle for XRP unfolding. We can see multiple touch points on the top side as resistance, and also multiple touch points on the downside as support. And eventually this price is getting squeezed into this apex, and XRP has to pick a side. So we will either see a break to the top side or a break to the downside. But a descending triangle is a bullish price pattern, because we are first seeing a big consolidation to the downside, and eventually we want to see a break to the top side and create a big bullish trend reversal, and then aim for higher targets. So if we're breaking above this resistance area, then the first target will be around the 65 cents. So keep in mind that this descending triangle for XRP is going to break out in the coming days or weeks. So for now I'm looking at this daily time frame for Bitcoin, and this is the most interesting resistance for now. I hope you find this video useful, and I will see you in the next video. Bye bye.